Imagine you're sitting in a quiet room. You hear a faint tick, tick, tick. You quickly turn your head to look at the wall clock. As your eyes land on the dial, something strange happens. That very first second you watch the red hand, it seems to hang. It lasts just a fraction of a heartbeat too long. Your immediate thought is probably that the battery is dying, or the internal gears are finally giving out. But then it ticks, and ticks again. The normal rhythm resumes, and you brush off the hesitation. That slight pause had nothing to do with the clock. The gears were moving perfectly. That delay happened entirely inside your head, a well-documented neurological illusion known as chronostasis. Understanding the exact mechanism behind this split-second glitch reveals an uncomfortable truth about how you process the world. You are not experiencing a continuous, unbroken reality. To see why the clock froze, we have to look at the physical act of glancing. When you shift your gaze from one object to another, your eyes perform a rapid, jerky movement called a saccade. The physical problem here is speed. Your eyes rotate so quickly to find the next target that they cannot properly focus on the incoming light while moving. If your brain simply kept the cameras rolling through the movement, this is what you would see: a constant, dizzying smear of light and color every time you scanned a room. To save you from perpetual matcha, your visual cortex executes a drastic solution. It pulls the plug. For the roughly 50 to 100 milliseconds it takes your eyes to physically rotate, your brain stops processing visual data completely. During that tiny window, you are actively, completely blind. Since we dart our eyes around thousands of times a day, those little gaps add up. We spend an estimated 40 minutes of every waking day effectively plunged into total darkness without ever noticing. So if the feed is being cut over and over again, why don't you see a strobe light effect of black gaps in your vision? Because your brain is working tirelessly behind the scenes as a master video editor, furiously patching over its own blind spots. Here is how it patches the feed. The millisecond your eye finishes its saccade and lands on a target, like a clock, it captures a sharp, stationary image. The brain takes the crisp image of the clock and stretches it backward in time, writing over the blind spot. You experience the actual 1 second the clock stays still, plus the fraction pasted over the blackout. Mathematically, that single second contains more subjective time. That lingering frozen clock hand is simply the exact moment you catch your brain desperately trying to hide a cut and maintain a seamless narrative. If your mind is willing to rewrite the timing of a simple wall clock, you have to wonder what else it is quietly editing. Your experience of time is not a passive, continuously flowing stream that you absorb exactly as it happens. Depending on how much adrenaline is in your blood or how closely you need to pay attention to a threat, your nervous system can stretch a terrifying car crash into agonizingly slow motion, or compress routine tasks into what feels like seconds. What you perceive is a highly managed post-production construct, manipulated to ensure your biological survival rather than objective accuracy. The editing process itself introduces an inescapable delay. First, there is the physical limit of the universe. It takes measurable time for light to bounce off an object and reach your retinas. Then there is the biological limit. Your neurons need time to process those photons, cut out the motion blur, and stitch the sequence back together into a cohesive story. By combining these physical and biological processing times, we reach a strange conclusion. No human being has ever actually experienced the present. Your sensation of now is a delayed broadcast. You are watching a highly edited live stream of the recent past. By the time your conscious mind registers the present moment, it is already gone. So, the next time you glance across a room and see a second hand hang in place, remember what you are actually looking at. You are watching the editor stumble to hide the delay.